Welcome back to Inside Tennessee. Our guest this morning, Bob Corker, running for the U.S. Senate. Hoyt, want to get you into this discussion.
Sure. Mr. Corker, polls show that the Senate race is neck and neck,
yes,
and has been for some time. What do you think will tip the balance one way or the other in the next couple of weeks before November 7th?
I think two things, that Tennesseans will want to send somebody to the United States Senate that they believe is like them, that thinks like them, that will share their values, if you will, in Washington and their views. And I think that over the course of the next several weeks, people will be looking more closely at that. Secondly, I think they want to send somebody to Washington that they really believe can solve problems. And I think when they look at those two things, hopefully they will see me as that kind of person. That's something I've done all my life. I wake up in the morning seeing opportunities as seeing problems as an opportunity to bring people together, to be able to do something that is going to be of good for people in my community or in my state or in the country in this particular case. And so I think that they see the bickering, they see the things not happening, the issues not being addressed in Washington, and I think they're going to want to send somebody there that really can make a difference, and hopefully that'll be me.
Mr. Corker, your ads and your opponent's ads are interesting, to say the least, and some would even say pretty nasty. Do you feel this campaign has gotten too nasty, or what are your thoughts on it?
May I add to her question?
You can actually answer her question.
No, I'm not going to answer it. I got an email this morning, and we do a thing called Heart of the Matter, where we examine candidates' ads, yours, and Harold Ford's, Mr. Bredeson's, Governor Bredeson's, and others. We had one on last night, examining one of the ads from the National Republican Senatorial Committee for you. And Becky Hill sent me an email.
It's not for me. These are independent.
Well, okay. But anyway, it's certainly in your favor.
Yeah.
Becky Hill sent me this email, said, I think both parties should stick with what they will do if elected and not what the other person's done in the past. That might be taken out of context. Are they running for a place in our government or the National Enquirer? Becky asked.
Well, I'm actually running for a place in our government. Just a step.
We thought so.
Yeah, yeah. You know, the ads that we have on right now, I really love. You know, we have the Fred Thompson voiceover that really talks a lot about my background. I really want people here in the state to know who I am. And then there is one that really points out that I'm from Tennessee, and that, again, as you ask about East Tennessee, I've had the relationships here in Knoxville and Oak Ridge and other places, did that as mayor, did that as a business person, and that I really will have the opportunity to take Tennessee values to Washington. I like the ads that we have on right now, and I'd love to have any comments that you might have from viewers about that. The ones from the parties, those are independent expenditures, and I think a lot of times that our citizens don't realize we as candidates have nothing whatsoever to do with those. By the way, sometimes those ads help us, and sometimes they don't help us. So, you know, I know that what we have really tried to do to the fullest extent possible is absolutely stick to the facts, and we vet things. We really look at the voting records in a way that is absolutely factual, not out of context, and I will commit to you we will continue to do that over the next 26 days.
But couldn't you pick up the phone and say, enough's enough, this thing's gotten too nasty?
You cannot in any way, believe it or not, communicate with the people involved in independent expenditures. If there were to be a phone call made to the media entity that's producing, they literally would hang the phone up. I mean, they have strict federal guidelines. Both parties have to honor that. So,
can you tell us how much money has been spent in this campaign by your campaign and by the outside by the party?
I really do not know how much has been spent by the independent expenditure groups.
What about
well, let me say this. I did know that right after the primary that the Democratic National Committee bought $2 million worth of television, which I guess has been good for your station here, here in East Tennessee to distort my record. I do know that. As far as how much has been spent by Republicans and how much additional money by Democrats, I don't know. I know that this is a very, very expensive race. race. I know that both my opponent and myself probably are on par as far as how much money is being spent.
Which would be how much?
I really don't know.
4
I mean,
or 5 million up to now?
Oh, no, more than that. I mean, it's a lot more than that. A lot more than that. You're talking about in the primary and the general election? Yes, sir, a lot more than that.
You put, what, a couple of million in yourself in the primary election?
I did, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In light of that.
But if we're going to talk about that, I would like to say that 92% of the money that has been raised in the state, in my campaign, has come from the state of Tennessee, 92%. Only 30% of my opponent's money has come from the state of Tennessee. He's actually raised more money from Hollywood than any other congressman in the country, other than the congressman who represents Hollywood. So the one thing about the campaign contributions is we truly have been supported by Tennesseans.
In light of that negativity, is there something that you could say that's positive about your opponent? What do you admire about Harold Ford Jr.?
He's good on TV. He's really he does great commercials, and he's a good talker. And you know, the thing that it's interesting, y'all want to talk about the negativity. I don't know if you were at the debate the other night, and I think you probably saw he and I, prior to the debate taking place, standing up there and cutting up with each other. And even though the debate itself got semi-tense, if you will, like a debate like you would expect this to be, at the end, you saw a lot of civility. So, you know, we bumped into each other a good deal on the campaign trail, and I think you see that in spite of all this that goes on and all that you're focused on right now, there's a high degree of civility between the two of us.
Do you like Harold Ford Jr.?
We got one sec. We'll save your answer. We'll be back right after this.